Even if we do see some organization with this, we're not talking about a very strong system. It's just kind of too early in the season to really get a powerful storm, and it just doesn't look like the conditions are really going to be there. At the moment, though, again, keep in mind that the center, if there is much of a center, is still over land, and I'm showing you the visible satellite. It really gives you more a high definition of what the clouds are doing, and can you really see any clear-cut center? You see kind of a broad circulation. Looks like maybe there's one here. There seems to be a little bit of rotation here. All the convection is still pretty far away from the center. And again, any kind of circulation is over land. So this is going to have a very tough time in organization for the rest of the day today. And this is something else that's interesting. This looks at the convection. This is the infrared satellite. You saw a big flare up down to the south. That has kind of weakened. And then a big flare up near the center. And that has started to fall apart. Might see a little bit of activity trying to get going again, but it's having a tough time at the moment. And I'll show you why in just a second. Computer models, again, kind of all over the place. Consensus has been somewhere along the northern, northeastern Gulf of Mexico, anywhere from southeast Louisiana to the Florida Panhandle, maybe as far as the kind of Big Bend area of Florida. So again, trying to pinpoint exactly where it's going to go, very difficult at this time because the storm itself is not very well organized. This is something that is kind of interesting, though, the model comparison of the GFS and the Euro. I'm not looking at rainfall, I'm just kind of looking at the pressures. This is where the storm is, and notice the GFS centered right about here, the Euro right about here. So the GFS and the Euro are starting to come into a little bit more agreement. Problem for us is that agreement is taking it more towards southeast Louisiana. Now again, if it does strengthen, it's going to keep most of the rainfall and the heavier rains on the eastern side. Not to say it's going to be completely dry on the western side, but it still looks as though the greatest rainfall totals, that kind of 5 to 7, maybe 8 inches of rain, would still be focused more to our east. However, some models are hinting at maybe the Mississippi coast climbing up to that 7, maybe 8 inches of rainfall, whereas a better portion of southeast Louisiana may be more under the 3 to 5. And over several days, we can handle that. It's when we get those individual cells that drop heavy amounts of rainfall that can cause some problems. You need 80-degree water temperatures in order to get any kind of tropical development. Temperatures are there. This is not excessive heat in the Gulf of Mexico, but we're definitely there. Here's the problem, though, in terms of any organization. We have an upper low that is down to our south in the northern or in the central Gulf of Mexico, north of this feature. This is creating wind shear, and we have incredibly dry air aloft over the Yucatan and across much of the, at least southern Gulf of Mexico. This feature is going to have a very tough time over the next couple of days. So we're going to be watching it, though, especially through the weekend. Just everyone watching us this afternoon, prepare for heavy rainfall. We'll also likely see an increase in tides as we get into Saturday and Sunday, and tidal coastal flooding could be an issue as tides might be running about 1 to 3 feet above normal.